Hey, in this episode of Fun with Charts, we're going to take a quick look at Tesla stock. So it looks like Tesla stock here was going in a downward trend in this channel, and we just broke out. And this somewhat coincided with news that Tesla didn't have to pay the 10% tariff anymore for their vehicles. And so this was a really big deal. It's also coincided with Elon Musk traveling to China, and so that might have had a big role in the matter as well. Another thing that's going to happen soon is that I just saw an announcement today that we should be expecting a reveal of the truck in November. So that's pretty exciting. Tesla stock is a very controversial stock. Either you hate it or love it, and so there's a lot of risk involved with the stock. So one thing that I saw that's really interesting with Tesla stock is that there's this upward trend that we are looking at, and it's pretty steep, I'd say. This trend is very similar to a trend that we had over here, almost parallel, I'd say, actually. So when we were going down this long-term trend down here, when we finally broke out of it here, this was an upward trend that was basically, I would say, parallel to what we're seeing now. So if you can see this here, this trend is very similar to what we're looking at here. So I can see, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a big spike coming up just like we did there. And one thing to take into account, though, is that this was a significant trend line that we just broke out of. However, this steepness here was a relative to this trend line slope here was a significantly more steep slope, as we can see here. And the significance of that is that generally when you break a trend line, the steeper the slope, the less significant it could be. So this was a very, not very steep slope that Tesla just couldn't break. And when it finally did, we had a significant breakout. Also, we broke out because of earnings was coming up, and there's a lot of hype with that, and also record delivery numbers. But there's a lot of hype coming up again in terms of avoiding the tariff tax, and also with the release of the pickup truck. So I could see another jump here, maybe reaching the levels where we reached in July. So I could definitely see that here. Let me know what you guys think. I just thought that this was a pretty interesting chart here that we just broke out of, and where will this go? So one thing to keep in mind is that this is a significantly steep slope, right, this trend. So we'll see how long this trend lasts. If this trend breaks, we could look to this, again, this level as support, but this trend is still bearish. Looks like we might have finally found a bottom. This is a very key line right here. I think we might see heavy support here, so that is an interesting key level if we ever get down to here again. I think that we would bounce off that. And that's the update on Tesla stock. Let me know what you guys think, if you think that Tesla might go up here, and what you guys think about the news that's coming out regarding the tariffs, and the news and the reveal of the pickup truck that's coming up in a couple months. Just a friendly reminder that I'm not a professional financial advisor. These videos are for your informational and entertainment purposes only. Thanks for watching, and if you want more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.